Hello, welcome to Social Media 101 for Advocacy. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Keisha Davidson, and I'm the Director of Communications and Marketing at YWCA, Seattle Kings Snohomish.
And I'm Denise Miller. I'm the manager of our YWCA's Fire Steel Advocacy Program. You might notice that I am not Rainey Cohen. She was planning to be in this training from the beginning. She will be joining us later. She's gone for a very good reason. One of our policy priorities is having a committee hearing in Olympia right now. So she's there live tweeting and doing all sorts of communications magic, but she is going to pop into our hangout toward the end. So we'll get to hear about what she's been up to while we've been learning in this hangout. So we're very, very glad to have you with us today, whether you are watching on YouTube or if you are in the room with our friends at Seattle University. So the purpose of our training today is to just share some social media basics, specifically for Facebook and Twitter. And we just want you to feel more comfortable using those platforms to advocate for policy change. So we'll have some time for questions at the end, and I'll be checking for questions throughout on my smartphone, double duty, all the screens right now. And so you can tweet your question to @FiresteelWA, FiresteelWA, or you can email it to me at dmiller@ywcaworks.org. Also, I put both of those, the email address and the handle, in the message that I sent you with the link, so you should have easy access to that. So we will keep an eye out for your questions, and don't be afraid to ask anything. There's nothing too basic, and we're excited to have you with us.
This is actually the fourth time that the Housing Alliance, YWCA, and Seattle University have partnered to offer the Social Media 101 training. And we keep doing it because social media is a really powerful tool. You can use it to get your coworkers, your friends, your family members, and really anyone who's in your networks to take action around ending homelessness. And we present this training in January because it's a really exciting time for advocates. It's right when state lawmakers are convening in Olympia to talk about policies that directly impact people who are houseless or on the brink of becoming houseless and struggling to pay their rent. You can use social media to stay informed about these issues in real time. You can share updates with others that encourage them to take action. And you can also use it to connect directly with those lawmakers and legislators. So today we're going to do a broad overview of how to do all of those things and focus on Facebook and Twitter. And now I'm going to turn things over to Denise, who's going to tell you about Facebook.
Yeah, so we're starting with Facebook because it is the biggest social network. Lots and lots of people use it all around the world. Chances are you have a Facebook account, and it's also very personal. We tend to link with our friends and family and coworkers, not with strangers as much, although that is increasing. So it's a really great way to reach people who you know personally and share messages with them. It's also very visual. See lots of images, and those are the posts that tend to catch people's eyes a lot more. And I encourage you to use it for advocacy. Because it's where people are already hanging out and talking. There's tons of information there already, and so it's really easy to share events, to share articles, and other pieces of information and links. It's also a really easy place to kind of find information. So, for example, and we're going to use some demos. So I'm going to attempt to screen share. I'm going to log in to my personal Facebook account. I hope nobody has posted anything weird. And all right, here it is. This is actually the Fire Steel page. But so let's just go ahead and get started. And I am interested in following a really great advocacy organization, the Washington Low-Income Housing Alliance. I want to get information from them, and I encourage you to do the same. So I will go ahead and look for them in the search bar up at the top. And there they are. So I typed in WLIHA, and Washington Low Income Housing Alliance pops up. So I'm going to go to their page, and first of all, I'm going to like them. So that means that I will, if I choose the right thing, I'll get to see their notifications. So when they're posting about events or articles, I'll get all the goods from them. So let's see. I can even choose how I'll see these posts in my newsfeed. And so I can see them first. So, I am really into advocacy. This is important to me. So I'm going to actually put them up high in my feed. And there's a notifications option. So I can even find out, I can get a notification anytime they post anything. So I'm hardcore. I'm going to go to all posts. I want to know when they are hosting events, and done. So I should get all the information from the Housing Alliance. Like, we have all kinds of meta action happening with our partner Catherine, commenting on our stuff even as we go. All right, so here's their page, and there is good stuff on here. There's an editorial. There is information about the Social Media Day of Action, which is tomorrow, and even more. So I'm going to take a moment and just tell you about that. Tomorrow, advocates all over the state are going to take to Twitter and Facebook, and other platforms as well, so maybe Instagram or Pinterest, Google+, and they're going to be sharing messages about affordable housing and end to homelessness. So, in fact, if I click this link, there's a blog post on the Firesteel site all about how you can participate in that. So we really encourage you to be part of this social media movement. It's a lot of fun. It's actually one of my favorite days of the year because we get to make up fun memes and all kinds of cool content. You'll see lots of cute dogs. It's great. So a little bit more on that later. But we want to show you ways that you can get your friends and family to be part of this movement. So one way is actually we're going to update our image, profile image. And so up at the top of this blog post that I mentioned, this is on Firesteel, we're going to save this image, and that's going to be our profile picture. So I'm just going to save that to my desktop, and I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go to my page, and I'm going to go ahead and update my profile picture. So click that button, and I'm going to upload a photo. And there it is. So open, uploading. It's going to be good. So you'll see the image itself is hashtag HHAD2016. That is Housing and Homelessness Advocacy Day. And so this is how we are spreading the word, one of the ways we're spreading the word and trying to increase registrations for Housing and Homelessness Advocacy Day, which is on February 2nd. So that looks good. I want to use the whole image. So let's go ahead and save that. Awesome. Now everybody knows that I'm supporting this. They might want to get a little bit more information about that. So I'm going to go ahead and just let people know what this is. So HHAD 2016 is Housing and Home. Okay, spelling Olympia correctly is good. I'll be there on February Look, Erin already likes it. Thank you, Erin. On February 2nd to talk to lawmakers about policies that will ensure that I'm going to be there. Please join. I actually want people to just be able to go ahead and find the link and get to that really quickly. So I'm going to go to the website and look, here's right away information about Advocacy Day. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm just going to go ahead and copy this link to getting comments. This is fun. Whoa, Erin says, I've got like 3 devices out right now for lots of advocacy. Yes, I love it. All right, so in this little comment on my picture, I have put in the hashtag. I wanted to explain what this hashtag means. I'm saying what the event is. I'm saying why I'm going. I'm inviting people to join me, and I'm including the link. So there's a whole conversation happening right on this image. That's fun. So there you go. That is one way to engage your friends and family in participating. There's also another way to share events. And so I'm just going to look for one that I know is happening. The Real Change is hosting an event the day after, the morning after the one night count. And so on this day, we're actually going to be ringing a gong, 1 sound for each person who was counted sleeping outside. We've done this for a few years now. It's a really powerful event. And so since there's actually an event page on Facebook, it makes it really easy to invite people. So I can choose people who I want to invite, and it will suggest people. So it'd be really great if Sean were there. I'll invite Erin. She's already invited. You can see that. So I'm guessing a lot of my contacts are already going to be invited. So I'll just go ahead and send this invite. And so Sean will know that, that I'm going, that I'd like him to be there as well. And I can also share, let's see, I can share this event really easily. I'll just go ahead and copy the URL. I will go to my homepage, and the event pops up. And so Seattle area friends, important. A little more time, I would maybe be a little more thoughtful in that post, but that is the idea. So people will see this in their feed, and then they can actually just click, you know, I'm going, or I can't make it. And if they're going, they'll get reminders about the event in days leading up to the event, which is really helpful. So that is just a few ways that you can use Facebook to advocate. So I'm going to stop that screen share. I'm going to turn it over to Keisha. She's going to talk about Twitter. And I'll be checking for questions as well. So we can always go back to Facebook if you have any questions about that.
Okay, Twitter is another really powerful social media tool. And personally, I think that it is one of the best ways to get your feet wet if you're new to social media platforms. It's very similar to Facebook in that there are profiles for individuals, there's profiles for organizations, and your profile can also be either private or public. I think that as an advocate, if you want to reach a wide audience of people, having your profile set to public is really ideal. but not everybody is comfortable with that. So maybe you can start off with having it private, and then shift over to being public. But in general, Twitter is a much more public tool than Facebook. Whereas on Facebook, you have to, with individuals, both opt into following someone or being their friend. On Twitter, that's not the case. So you can follow anybody who has a public profile and see their updates, but they don't necessarily have to follow you back. I use Twitter a lot to follow news sites and local organizations just so I know what's going on. So I am going to, well, before logging in, I'm just going to talk a little bit about when you first log into Twitter, what you see is the home stream, which shows updates from everybody that you're following. One of the big differences between Facebook and Twitter is you're probably aware that Facebook uses an algorithm to determine what shows up in your home feed. That's based on how popular a post was, how closely connected, how much you go visit someone else's page. So it kind of picks for you what you're going to see. Twitter is very different in that it just lists updates in chronological order. And so I think this makes Twitter a better tool for real-time events and updates because whatever you're seeing at the top of your feed is what's happening most recently. The most defining characteristic of Twitter is the length of an update. So on Facebook, you can have a whole book if you want in your update. On Twitter, you only get 140 characters, and that does include spaces.
And that's for
the
now. I've heard rumors that they're actually considering changing that, but yes, for now it's still 140. Yeah.
I wonder how much they would consider upping it, because I think it's hard at first, but I know a lot of people who say they think it's made them a better writer because it forces you to be succinct and to really get to the point and get to the heart of what it is that you want people to know about. If you want to keep your tweets down to less than 140, that's even better. I think they say about 110 is the ideal. And so thinking about that does include the link. It includes if you have a hashtag. So just all kinds of things that play into what those updates look like. And something else that I think you see a lot of on Twitter that can be very confusing is the acronyms. There are acronyms galore: RT, MT, DM, ICMYI. Don't feel bad.
Can I admit that I looked that one up?
Yeah. I was going to say, like, doesn't matter unless you're a young, fresh-faced person. You will probably have to Google what these terms are. In case you missed it, that's that one. SMAH, shaking my head or scratching my head. TLDR, that's a recent one that I learned about. Too long, didn't read. And so that's fine. Just Google it. Google can tell you everything that you need to know about what that acronym is. So we're going to go on to Twitter. I'm going to show you. So when you log into Twitter, this is what I was just talking about, the home stream. And so this is all of the 1,523 people that YWCA Works is following. Oh, and there's ads. Let's click those ads. So it will string together updates that are all from the same person about the same thing. So that's what these lines are from Hootsuite. You can see the Seattle Times, and a lot of times when you post a link, it will come up with a big photo like this. Twitter is not as visual as Facebook, but things that do have pictures and images will get more engagement. So here is the home stream. Something that I think is interesting is over here, it shows Seattle trends. These are hashtags that are trending locally, which means that they are getting a lot of attention right now in this from people in the area. And so it's just an interesting way to see, what's going on. If you click on To the Girls 2016, that will show you all of the people who have posted using this hashtag. It will show you the top tweets. It will give you an actual live feed, which is just moment by moment. It will show you the people who are tweeting about this hashtag, photos, and video. And so it's just a good way to see what's going on around you, which is what I think one of the most interesting things about Twitter is this real-time engagement. So you can use Twitter, just the same as Facebook, to follow groups like WLIHA, who we're already following. You can also use it to follow individuals like Catherine, who are advocates who are tweeting about things. We also have Fire Steel up here.
Woo!
Yeah. So you can see, we have followers that are mutual, all of the photos that they've posted on the Fire Steel. So this is the Fire Steel profile page. And also show you the YWCA Works profile page. So we just retweeted Erin that she is watching this training. And then these are the most recent tweets that have come from us. And so you can post an update. So Working While Brown, what discrimination looks like now. It includes a link. And you can see that this also has what we call an @ mention. So when you see an @ before a handle, that is tagging that particular profile in your tweet. So then they will see that you tagged them. Then we have hashtags. So hashtags, which I just mentioned before with the trends, really bring together all of the tweets about a specific event or topic, and it's a really great way to find other advocates. So if you click right now on hashtag WA Homes, it shows all of the tweets, like Catherine tweeting about, this is very meta right now, HHAD, Washington Homes. So this shows you in real time what people are tweeting about this. And I think it's a really great tool to see what are the conversations that people are having, what are the questions that they have. You can see who is not plain Jane, someone else who is interested in this topic. So it's a really great way to connect with other people who you might not have met in person. And when you use a hashtag in your update, it brings you into that conversation as well. So hashtags are a really great way to just bring everything together and find out what advocates are saying and what's important.
Absolutely, and we really encourage you to use the WAHOMES hashtag. This session, this year, we're really excited to have kind of a central place for these conversations about housing and homelessness advocacy. So please, please, please use it.
And so another important part about using Twitter, once you've followed people, once you've explored some hashtags, is that you can retweet what other people say. And there are two ways that you can retweet, but if you look at an update, and it's just this little square right here, little arrows going around, if you click on retweet, it will give you two options. You can either just do a straight retweet, so it will just show up exactly like that person's tweet in your feed. So we're going to retweet Erin.
Oh, that's very sweet.
And then it will show up on our own YWCA Works page. See, there's Erin's retweet. Or you can retweet and you can add a comment, which I think is really awesome. and it's new the way they do it now. It's a little bit different. Um, let's go back. Actually, I want to retweet something. Oh, already. And then you can just type in your own comment. Thanks for the shout out. And then we'll do an @ if you want to mention Aaron. And you can just click on it. It will finish the rest of it for you. And then when you tweet it, it will show that person's tweet plus your comment before it.
I really like quote tweets. I'm really glad that Twitter added that feature.
Yeah, it used to be that when you quoted a tweet, it was that original tweet was part of your character count. And it was
Yeah.
really hard to like, okay, what can I cut out of what they wrote and add my own comments and still get it underneath 140 characters, which is next to impossible and lends to a lot of like PLZ for please, like anywhere where you can take a few letters out. So it's really a great way to share what someone else is saying, but to also add your own take on it and your own opinion. So we've talked about @ mentions. Oh, likes. If you want to like a tweet, it's pretty much just what it sounds like. It used to be a star, but they switched over to likes. And that shows the person who originally posted that you liked their piece. You can use it in a lot of different ways to show your support for a particular topic. I also use it a lot to bookmark. So if I want to come back and read something later, I will like it. And then you can find those things that you liked here on your own profile page under likes right here. So you click on likes, and it shows all of the things that you have liked most recently. Something that I actually just recently discovered about Twitter are moments. Moments are very similar to hashtags, but they don't need a hashtag. So if you click on moments, it will show you kind of what is trending.
Frozen pants, apparently. It's very
Frozen
cold in
pants,
Minnesota.
hating Sub-Zero Minnesota. Let's say Will Smith and this boycott by the Oscars. And what it does, oh, mute. And so it will bring all of the tweets about a particular topic into your home stream. And then when you're done, then when the moment is over, when it stops trending, it will just no longer be in your stream. So it's nice if you don't want to go to a separate page where there is a hashtag, or if you don't want to follow a whole bunch of profiles that you're not necessarily interested in the long term. I did it for the Democratic debates, and it was perfect. I just clicked on it, and it brought all of the tweets about the debates into my home stream, and I could just see them with everything else, and then it tells you when it's over. It says moment's over, and then there'll be no more tweets from that topic in your home stream. And so that is a quick and dirty overview of Twitter and some of the ways that you can use it for advocacy. Oh, and one other thing that I forgot to mention, just like what Denise showed us on Facebook, you can change your profile picture to show your support, things like the Social Media Day of Advocacy. And so with that, I am going to stop sharing my screen. And
there's your face. Hi.
Back. Turn it back over to you, Denise.
Yeah, great. So I realized that there was one thing I wanted to show in Facebook that I didn't. So I'm going to take a chance to do that now. And that's tagging organizations and people within Facebook. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and go to this event that I shared and show you how to tag. So if I want to tag an organization, It's actually the same with people. So I use the @ sign, and then I will start typing the name of the person or organization. And I just realized I'm not screen sharing, so let's go ahead and do that. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. You looking at my Facebook now?
No.
Okay. I think that should be good. All right. So, how about now?
Just see the Fire Steel logo.
All right. Let's see. Try one more time. Sorry, this is the fun part of doing a live thing. Okay.
Hey, there you go.
Yay! All right. So, here we are on Facebook. So I'm going to go to, this is the post that I already put up. This is the gong ringing event. And so I'm going to tag Real Change, which is an organizer of this event. And so I'm just going to type the @ symbol, and then I'm going to start typing Real Change. Because I like Real Change, they pop up right away. And so I'm going to just select that. So that means that they're now tagged. So they're going to get a notification that I have that I've mentioned them on Facebook. So I'm just going to type a quick message. Actually, I'll just maybe just do a quick shout out. So I'll just say thanks to Real Change for organizing. And I'm also going to tag an individual. So tag my friend Catherine here. So Catherine Heinrichsen. So again, I just typed @ I started typing her name, and it automatically populated. So there's how you do that. And she'll get a notification that I've mentioned her. And so if she wasn't already aware of the event, she will be now. So it's kind of another way of inviting her. And she likes that comment, so that's good. All right, so I'm going to stop screen sharing. Hello. Okay, and I have been looking for questions on email and Twitter. I've seen lots of great retweets and fun comments, especially from our friend Erin, but I haven't seen a lot of questions about social media. So we're going to do kind of a last call for that. If there's any any questions, the hashtag Frozen Pants has started. So thank you, Hannah, for that. And so I unfortunately have also heard from Rainey, and she's not going to be able to pop in as we had hoped. So I want to just show you all what she's been up to in Olympia today. So let's try. You seeing my screen? I hope.
Yes.
Yay! Okay. So we are on the Housing Alliance's Twitter page, and this is what Rainey's been up to. So she took a picture at the hearing and wrote, "Great hearing, thanks to everyone who came to testify, hashtag #WaHomes." Awesome. She also retweeted Erin's tweets. And here's something cool. So she tweeted at Mark Malosha, who's a lawmaker, and said, "I appreciate Gov Inslee," tagged Governor Inslee's proposal of the Landlord Mitigation Fund in the supplemental budget with the hashtag #WaHomes. So there's lots of good stuff in there. Mark Malosha and Governor Inslee are both going to get notifications that Housing Alliance is talking about them. And I'm going to make a quick distinction because we get this question sometimes about why would you put a dot before the @ symbol. So if you only did the @ symbol without the period ahead of it, that message would it would basically be very visible to Mark Milosha, and also Governor Inslee would get the notification still, but it wouldn't be on the Housing Alliance's like regular feed. So me as a follower of the Housing Alliance, that wouldn't come up in my feed because it's considered more targeted at the people who are tagged at Mark Milosha and Governor Inslee. So by putting the period ahead, it just makes it much more visible. So that's a good practice. All right, I'm going to do one more sweep for questions. And here's a question. All right, so can you talk about why sometimes you can't share people's posts to pages because of privacy setting? Keisha, do you mind answering that question while I look for more questions?
Yes, no problem. On Facebook, when you are sharing another post by somebody, and if you try to and you're not able to, that means that that individual settings make it so that you can't share that publicly. So for example, if an individual person that you are friends with posts something that you want to share on your own page, if they don't change their privacy settings, then they will not, you won't be able to save it or to share it publicly. I don't have my Facebook open, but you can see on a Facebook post that there's like a little symbol. It's like a little globe, and that means that it's public. And I think it's a lock if it's private. And so that's how you can kind of see, or it will show two little shadows of people if it can only be seen or shared with friends.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'll often see people ask their friends if it's okay to share, especially if it's a really personal post, and I do see quite a few about people who are experiencing homelessness sharing their experiences. And so it could be a good practice just to ask your friend, like, do you mind if I copy paste this into my feed, or if I do a screen capture and share this post? And very often people will get permission if they're comfortable with it. Also, if a post is, a link or, something public, but people just have very private settings, you could always just follow the URL, copy it into your feed, and share it that way too. Yeah, that was an awesome question. I don't see any others in email or Twitter, so I think we're going to go ahead and start wrapping up with some reminders. So I hope that you've gotten from this session that Facebook and Twitter and all social media are really about being social. They're about having relationships. It's about having conversations with people. And so if you do post something and somebody has a comment, I'd really encourage you to reply to that, especially if people have questions or especially if they have misconceptions about homelessness. Just start engaging them and talking with them. That's a really great way to get people more engaged. And I also encourage you to please participate in the Social Media Day of Action. That's tomorrow. You can get lots of information about that on the Firesteel website. It's right on the front page right now. You can also find a link to that post, as you saw, on our Facebook page. And so on that post, we have examples about messages that you might want to send, different types of posts, and also just more information about why we're doing this Social Media Day of Action and how it can help make a difference. Also, coming up on February 2nd is the Housing and Homelessness Advocacy Day. Registration is open for that, and another one of my very favorite days of the year. It's a lot of fun. More than 600 advocates from around the state gather in Olympia. It's organized by our friends at the Washington Low Income Housing Alliance. And it's a really great day to learn about the issues, things that are happening in Olympia, bills that are being considered, budget, and so you kind of get talking points and information about all of these policy considerations. There's a really great rally, there are workshops. One workshop is actually going to be on social media for advocacy, an in-person one. And there is a chance to talk with your lawmakers. The Housing Alliance does an amazing job setting up meetings with your elected officials, and so it's an incredible opportunity to talk with them and let them know about the issues that you care about and to share your personal experiences. If you have any experience with homelessness or housing instability, or if you work for an organization and you want to, just share how your program participants are experiencing these issues, I really, really encourage you to attend. So you can find out all about that either on firesteelwa.org or on the Housing Alliance website, wliha.org, or on any of the social media platforms that you have seen us demonstrate so many times during this session. We also try to make it really easy for you to stay in touch with your lawmakers throughout the session and the whole year, so you can sign up for action alerts from the Housing Alliance, and also you can subscribe to the Firesteel blog by visiting our website. So,
and
yeah.
Denise, I would just like to add one more thing, that social media is really, it's just about community. And I think what's really exciting is when you get comfortable with it and you start engaging with it, and I think particularly with Twitter, if you participate in the social media day of advocacy, that you really start to get to know people online, even if you've maybe never met them. But then when you do meet them and you do go to that advocacy day, it's so exciting. So you're like, oh, you're this person that I've already been communicating with about this thing. And it's just a really wonderful way to continue to build and expand on community. And so even though it's online and it's social media, I think it all comes down to that face-to-face interaction with the community of people who care about the same things and who want to advocate to make a better world and homelessness.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, Keisha. I totally agree. I've definitely made some great friends that way too. So if there are no other thoughts, we'll go ahead and close this 2 minutes early. That means our friends at Seattle U can get into their in-person training a little bit quicker, and the rest of you can go get your lunch a little bit sooner. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and please do continue to be in touch using your platform of choice. We'll find you, find us. Thank you.
Thank you.